Well, we're about to get emotional. So, I know that there are a lot of people out there in the world who suffer from this problem, and I just feel like I should talk about it. So I figured I would talk about this subject because I know that I've dealt with it off and on. I know that there are a lot of people out there in the world who suffer from it currently, and I want to be able to help them and hopefully give them some inspiration from how I've been able to overcome it. And, yeah, so let's just get into it. So I found out that I had mild depression when I found out that I had my anxiety disorder, and they kind of tag team. It's kind of like, you have anxiety, and with that comes a little bit of depression. So I found out that I had slight depression, mild depression, when I got my anxiety disorder. And speaking of my anxiety disorder, I'll have a video about anxiety next week, and you guys can go check that out. And I'll probably put an annotation in this video where you can go and see it after the fact, after it's already been uploaded, so you guys can go and check that out. But at first, it didn't really hit me. I wasn't really depressed, and I was like, well, okay. Yeah, I'll probably just be depressed because I'm anxious all the time. I mean, who knows? But slowly I started to see how I was depressed. I started, not trusting people. And I started, thinking that everybody was, talking about me, behind my back and everything. And it was, a very hard time to be around people when it finally hit me. The thing that really has damaged me from having slight depression is the fact that I always feel like I have a target on my back. And, because I am bigger, I am kind of annoying. I won't lie, I am a little bit annoying, but it's just, I don't know really how to describe it. It's more or less just like, I feel like people want to tell me that they don't like me, and they're afraid to. And it's just, it makes it hard to find people that you can trust. So after I kind of had that battle, I finally was able to get over it. I prayed a lot, took medicine, went to counseling, and I was able to get over it. So for about 6 months, I was pretty much depression free. I didn't feel sad at all. I was happy, I was confident. And then I found out how much I weighed, and I just lost it. I had hit the 320 pound mark. I was weighing myself at my house, and I noticed that I had hit 320 pounds. And that's when it kind of came back. I was self-loathing. I was just not willing to do anything about it because I didn't feel like I could do anything about it. I felt really just trashy. I felt like I had failed, and that I was one of the most unhealthiest human beings on the face of the earth. Thankfully, though, we got a gym membership again. We had a gym membership, but we got rid of it, and then we got it again. We started going to the gym, and I went down to 280 pounds. So that was good, and I've really kind of maintained it around there ever since. So enter in 2014, late 2014. Right now, I'm about a year into finding out that I had anxiety and depression. First day of school, 2014. I was excited to go and see my friends again. I was excited to be a senior in high school. But I had this unbearable stomach pain. Like, I was doubled over, couldn't eat, couldn't drink anything. It was terrible. Come to find out, I had irritable bowel syndrome, and it was because of my anxiety weighing down on my nervous system, which caused tension in my stomach and allowed it to tense up and the muscles to tense up, and it made it very hard for things to flow naturally, I guess, and so it caused cramps. And it sucked. I mean, because of it, I missed 13 days of school within the first 15 or 20 days. And because of my IBS acting up, it reacted with my anxiety disorder, and it caused this really, really nasty cycle. So the school I was attending at the time did everything but show me the door. Because I was missing so much, I probably would have failed 12th grade. So they gave us an option, and that was to either go into homeschooling or try to go into the public school system and be basically bombarded with a bunch of paperwork and stuff that could delay me. I would still be a year behind. So we chose to do the homeschooling, and I was absolutely mad. I was pissed off. And to be honest, that's when the depression kind of came back and hit me again. I was very upset because I felt like it was my fault. I blame myself for a lot of things, and it's because I'm afraid of being yelled at. I'm afraid of getting negativity. And that's hard. Harder than a lot of people may think. But, I kind of had to take a look at things and realize, okay, it isn't my fault. And eventually I was able to get over that. But I noticed that people who I thought were my friends were actually turning out to not be my friends. Because I had people who told me when I left that they were going to be, praying for me, and they would talk to me a lot, and, try to hit up and, go out and maybe have lunch or something, and that never happened. It never happened. So I kind of went back into this depression slump where I kind of had this mentality of no one really likes me, and that the people who I thought were my friends really are not my friends. And my girlfriend at the time didn't help at all, because she said the same thing. She said a lot of lies that was, basically she said what I just said, that people talk behind my back about me, and that people who I think are my friends are not really my friends, and that kind of thing. So I believed her because I was in love, I was blinded, and I wanted to believe that she knew what was going on because she was still at the school that I was attending before I got basically kicked out. So she was around all my friends, and it was hard for me to not believe her, like I said, because she was still there. So I kind of became a little bit bitter towards people who I met, maybe saw out, and about, or if I saw something on their Instagram or whatever, and, I kind of became bitter and didn't really trust anybody, and, it's even hard for me even today to trust some of those people because I still don't know. They haven't really shown me anything that tells me that they are who they are. And that's hard because some of the people that I am having issues with trust, I've been friends with since 5th grade, and that's hard because, when you know somebody for that long, you think you know them, but then when you're thrown this curveball of anxiety, and not only having the depression and anxiety, you have somebody else who is still in school with them telling you that they aren't who you think they are. It can be very confusing. It can be very conflicting, and it's still hard for me to trust them, even though I so want to. Like, I would pour my heart out on social media and, either put like a movie quote or a song lyric or something that kind of detailed how I was feeling, in hopes that somebody would see it and maybe say, "How are you? Are you okay?" Because at the time I wanted to say, no, I don't trust anybody, and I feel like the world's against me. I mean, even people in my family didn't notice I was going through something, which I kind of was okay with because I didn't want them to know. It was still one of those things that was, I still felt like the world was against me, and that no one actually considered me a friend because I was obnoxious or, ugly or whatever the case is. So after I graduated high school from this homeschooling program, I kind of went through a really rocky period in my relationship with my girlfriend because I found out that she had said a few things about me, and she was starting to get mean, and it was hard, and that made me depressed as well because I wanted it to work, because I was so afraid of being alone because she was the first girl that ever gave me a chance. And when you're attached to somebody like that, it can be very vicious. I may talk about my relationship's problems in the future. I don't know. I would have to talk it out with my ex-girlfriend, see if she would be okay with that. All I'm going to say is we had a lot of complications, and when we broke up, we had stabbed each other in the back enough times to... It made sense when we broke up. But it devastated me. I was so empty for like a week or two. And then, again, I kind of snapped out of it through a lot of, prayer and thinking about the stuff that I'd gone over with my counselor. And I was like, I really don't need to be this depressed about somebody who was talking so bad about me. Because if she really loved me, she wouldn't have said stuff like,
"Well, it's no wonder you're depressed. People don't like you. They don't think you are who you are. You know that I love you, but don't ever do that to me again or I'll kill you."
That's conflicting information, but it sent me into a tailspin where I was like, sadness is what I am. I can't get out of this slump, and I'll never be with somebody again. I thought that very, very heavily. But eventually, I was able to get over it with the support of my best friend and my family, and of course, the good Lord above. So moving into my freshman year of college, which is this year, I was making new friends, I was happy, and I didn't give anything that had happened in the past a second thought. I was ready to rebuild, I was ready to trust people. I was ready to let people in. And so far, things have been working out, but there are still times where I think back to that what if. What if I can't trust anybody? What if everybody really does talk about me behind my back? What if I really don't have anybody other than my absolute best friend who I know 100% is not going to do anything to me? What if I'm really a nuisance to people? I still have those thoughts, and they still plague me to this day. And even though I'm much better off depression-wise than what I once was, that thought still haunts me to this day. And here's another time for me to mention that I will probably make a video about fake friends later in the future, because I actually have had people leave me because the other people were leaving me, and they thought, well, if they're leaving him, then I'll leave him too. But I'll have a video about that later on in the future, hopefully. And if you guys want to see it, then let me know in the comments below. My message to you all is this: depression sucks, it hurts, and it can make your life a living hell. But if you fight like hell, if you resist the darkness, and if you find the positivity in every single day that you're alive, I guarantee you, your problem will at least become very small, if not completely go away. Life is a very beautiful thing. Depression is just going to be there to try and mess it up. But you have the power to either let it in or to tell it to go away. We control our emotions. It doesn't take us very long to be happy, and it definitely doesn't take us very long to be upset, but we make the choice. We make the choice of either to be happy or sad. Do not be afraid to live your life. Don't ever think that everybody is against you, because I guarantee people will pop up and say that they aren't, and they will prove it to you, and it'll be amazing. Depression is just one little blip in life, and it can either make you a very nervous wreck, or it can make you stronger because you know how to fight it. So literally, the hashtag stay strong comes into play here, because that's all you gotta do, because that which don't kill you only makes you stronger. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed listening to my thoughts and my story about my slight depression. I know that I don't have like a compelling story or anything like that, like, oh, I cut myself, I had an eating disorder, and I don't have that kind of story, because I'm going to be honest with you, I've never experienced that. But my view of depression and my story of depression has been different from a lot of other people's, and hopefully it can still inspire people to, you know, continue to stay strong and to live life. Because again, that's my ultimate goal with my channel, is I want to help as many people as possible. So if you or somebody that you know and love is suffering with depression, then share this video and like it and subscribe, because I will be having more motivational videos and my story and all that stuff to come. I thank you all for watching, and until next time, I'll see you all later. Unless you've been under a rock for like the last 12 hours or so, then you guys have probably heard that David Bowie has passed away. It's tragic, it's sad, it sucks.